So this is standing on the corner of Court Farm Road and Frat Road, and this is where many years ago I came flying down here on my racing bike. It was all icy, and I ended up somewhere on that wall over there, which I think I'm still taking up bits of gravel from my leg at the moment. Another shot of Court Farm Road and the newsagents, which was very popular, and I'm sure it still is. So let's take a trip back to June 1977 in the same place, and that's Bettina Gooders and myself, just friends, and her brother Jeremy. Now Jeremy emigrated to New Zealand many years ago, and I did see him when he came back, probably 25 years ago. Now here we go, walking down Frant Road. So hopefully this should bring back some memories to you all approaching the school. Now interestingly, there are some quite high security gates here now. Now it's important to remember at this point that these are open. So if we take the slip road here, this goes down to the old grammar school, and I specifically wanted to have a look at these prefabs because this is where I first started at the Nevill back in 1973, although I believe that my class was actually on the end here. It was the last one, which is no longer there. But yeah, I had some really happy memories back then. There's the old annex onto the Nevill there. Yeah, I had some really good memories back in '73, my first year at the Nevill. A shot of the playground. Now this is where the bike sheds are, or were, because they're not sheds anymore because they do not have any roofs. So yeah, locked my bike up there many times. In fact, I have two memories of these sheds. One, when I was, I think, in the 4th year, and there was a 2nd year pupil in the sheds at the time, being violently ill, being really ill, throwing up everywhere, and I sort of stayed with him because there's nobody else around. Strange how these things stick in your memories. And yeah, I've got another memory, but we'll come back to that one shortly. Now, as I said, that's my first year at the Nevill. I was in one of these, and I'm sure this is where my class was. It looks like the prefab has been taken down now, but that was back in 1973, and I'm sure that my teacher was Miss Keynes, a lovely teacher. And of course back then they didn't have ramps, and I have to say that looking at these prefabs close up, they're looking a little bit shabby now, but it's been 40 years since I've been at school, so 40 years plus, so I don't know how long they were there before I arrived. And I was quite keen to look inside here. It's quite spooky actually. Quite a nostalgic feeling, actually. And again, another shot of the school when I thought I'd have a look at the playground. And very interesting, very spooky, having an empty playground. When you think, it's quite amazing how many thousands of kids over the years have used this place, and it's so spooky quiet now. Think how many football matches have taken place, how many fights have taken place, and how many friendships have been made. But most importantly, the most significant thing that ever took place in this playground, well, when I was there, was Mr. Sinclair, Ray Sinclair, and his table and his boxes of crisps. which I think I recall were sold for 2.5p each. And he would have helpers, and on the left there, that's Jeremy Gooders, and on the right, there's Mark Isaacs, and I believe the kid sitting on the wall above is Simon Reynolds, or affectionately known at the time as Spike. So going back to the bicycle area here, I just noticed there's no place to actually lock your bikes up with, but can you imagine how many thousands of bikes are being put here over the years? Now, my other memory of this area, very distinctive, is when I had my first fight. I think I was in the 3rd year, and there was an older kiddie, 4th, 5th year, who'd thought it'd be funny to keep picking on me over a period of time. And at this exact spot here, I just lost my temper with him, and I taught him a lesson. And I did end up with a bit of a scar because he bit me on my chest really, really hard. But I have to say that I'm pleased to say I got the better of him, and I hope things worked out well for him later on in life. So back to the main building again, and this empty playground. But for a few moments, let's bring it back to life, and you can put yourself there again for a few moments. So this is the flagpole where one year Mark Isaacs and myself decided on April's Fool's Day to put something on the flagpole, and it ended up being Mark's mum's rather large black bra. And yeah, we entered the playground like ninjas. It was all good fun, quite exciting. And we managed to tie the bra to the rope and hoist it in the air, and there it was, flapping around. So that was all good fun. I think it made a few people laugh. So just goes to show you, it wasn't all hard work, hard studious work. Yeah, right. At the Nevill, we did have some fun times there. Good memory. However, this is where this tour stopped, because I saw some workmen in the car park, and I thought I would go along and have a chat with them and tell them what I was doing. And they were very nice, but they told me I shouldn't really be there. So I had to stop what I was doing, and I said, that's fine, I'll go straight away, and maybe I'll come back another time when I've got permission to do this properly. So that was fine. They went off, and I headed back up to the gate, and those gates that were open were shut, and they were very high gates. And I looked at them and I thought, well, if this was night time I might climb over them, but I didn't really fancy doing that. So I went all the way back round that slip road past the prefabs, and those gates were shut as well, and I couldn't see any way how to open them. So I'm thinking, great, I'm now stuck. So the only way I know out of here would perhaps be the entrance in Holmes Avenue. So off I now go through the school, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is not very good. It's not a very good situation here. So I go through the old grammar parts, Blatchington Mill on the right hand side, and I go to the entrance in Holmes Avenue, and guess what? That is shut as well, and they've got these really high gates. So I'm thinking, great. So I'm going to have to now go and find another way out. Now I do know there's the slip road, which there's an entrance down in Nevill Avenue. So I walked past the main entrance to Blackington Mill, the old grammar school, and I'm walking down the path, and I thought I'd do, as I'm there, why not take some more shots of the back of the school. And then two men came out and asked me what I was doing, which was a perfectly understandable question, seeing this person walking around the school grounds. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you shouldn't be in that situation and you're trying to prove your innocence, and so I gave all this spiel about being at the school many years ago, which I suppose I was trying to say I've got every right to do that, but no, I didn't have any right to do that. And I was just looking to take some nostalgic shots, and I really tried to explain to them, but I spoke to the workman, got trapped and came back, well, you shouldn't be here. And I said, I know, but the gates were shut. But you shouldn't be here. Yes, I know, but the gates were shut. So it was okay, but it's getting a little bit hot. And in fact, thinking about it, it's just like being back at school, I suppose. Being questioned by the teachers, what are you doing? Possibly going to get a detention. But it really boiled down to three choices. And I said, look, you can either call the police and I wait here voluntarily and I explain to them what I was doing. We can continue arguing backwards and forwards, or I just go. So there wasn't really much reply to that, so I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go now. So one of them went off, and the other one, only about 4'2", almost escorted me off. Stayed about 20 feet behind. Talk about social distancing. Anyway, he stayed quite well behind, and I was able to let myself out through the electronic gates. Yes, there was another gate there. So yeah, that was all quite funny actually. Quite funny. But it was good to look around the school parts which I could have access to, especially the prefabs for my first year there, and having a look at the playground. So do I seek permission to go back there to see if I could do like a nostalgic type of documentary? I've been thinking about it, but I don't know. I don't really know if I want to go back into the school. Very strange.